Hi, I'm Kate Bonner for the WatercoolerDiaries on KBTVonline. Thanks for joining. Today we begin a journey to the small island nation of Anguilla. This little-known island in the British West Indies has long been a destination for honeymooners, but just a couple of weeks ago it was swarmed with jazz enthusiasts, mostly Americans, who had come over to see some of the biggest names in jazz for the 5th Annual Tranquility Jazz Festival. And so my journey to this small island nation began. When I first decided to tag along with my managing editor, Rachel, while she wrote a piece about the Jazz Festival, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. In my head, I had all kinds of cliched ideas about Caribbean vacations, sorbet-colored sunsets, miles of white sandy beaches, droves of rich tourists baking in the sun, and exclusive 5-star resorts with officious islanders catering to your every whim. The best way to describe it is pure. Sure, the island had nice beaches and 5-star resorts, but it also had narrow, winding 2-lane roads, small homes with donkeys tied up in the front yard, and people, pure people, who instead of begrudgingly waiting on you hand and foot, seemed to say, "Come vacation with us." This pure, untouched feel may have something to do with the fact that Anguilla is not a hop, skip, or a jump from the American mainland. No international flights go into Anguilla's tiny airport, which is more the size of a warehouse than the megaplexes we're used to in the States. We flew into San Juan, Puerto Rico, then hopped onto a 40-seat prop plane for a bumpy hour flight to Anguilla. Once we reached this pint-sized piece of land surrounded by miles of turquoise ocean, we began to realize why many people don't even know it exists, and why people who did know where it was are willing to make this off-the-beaten-path trip. Anguilla, not Antigua, Anguilla. It's a 35-square-mile island, about 60 miles long by 3 miles wide. It's the most northerly of the Leeward Islands. It's a 25-minute ferry ride from St. Martin, right over there. Just to give you an idea of the island size, it has a population of about 12,300 people. This Eastern Caribbean island has never really been seen as a hotspot because it's flat. And it seems even more so because there's very little rainfall, so nothing really grows. It's just small trees and shrubs. But, however, the beaches, 33 of them in total, they are seen to be among the most desirable and magnificent in the Caribbean. Anguilla is also known as the wreck diving capital of the Caribbean. There are 9 wrecks surrounding the island that were sunk intentionally to satisfy the curiosity of divers. And boat racing is a national sport. The locals crowd the beaches on race days and cheer like it's a Sunday afternoon football game. But what emerges first and foremost is the people. It's an ethos of quiet confidence, a mixture of wisdom and humility that permeates just about every encounter we had. From a chat with a classically French-trained chef who was a native Anguillan, to Auntie B. She was a weathered woman selling homemade jewelry on Shoal Beach, to our taxi driver, private tour guide, who turned out to be a local politician. The people's sort of serene attitude seemed to come from the fact that 85% of the land in Anguilla is owned by native Anguillans. They're descendants of slaves who slowly gained their independence in the 1900s to become farmers, fishermen, and landowners. Today, it's not surprising that most of the jobs on Anguilla are in tourism, Anguilla's big moneymaker. Our first few days in Anguilla were spent experiencing the finer sides of the island, the ones that most vacationers see, from the sprawling 18-hole greens at Temenos Golf Club and rows of exclusive resorts and villas, which boast spas, private jacuzzis, and fees up to $60,000 a week, to 5-star dining at restaurants like Zora, which offers seaside dining and entrees of freshly caught seafood at $40 to $60 a plate. Anguilla actually has more gourmet dining choices here per acre than New York City. In our usual fashion, Rachel and I set out to find all the places off the beaten path. The places where the natives go, not where the tourists see. And to help us in our quest for the authentic Anguillan experience, we we enlisted our taxicab driver, Will Hodge. In our 4-hour whirlwind tour of the other side of Anguilla, we came across a number of authentic sights, from the first Methodist church built on the island, to the beach where Will used to fish as a kid, to a restaurant called Tasty's, started by a local Anguillan chef who worked his way up from a kitchen boy to become an award-winning chef with one of the most popular little eateries on the island. Tune in tomorrow for the second installment of our journey through Anguilla, the little Caribbean island with a whole lot of personality. I'm Kate Bonner for the Water Cooler Diaries on KBTV Online.